Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Weather Sim forecast. And in today's forecast, we're going to be talking about this large storm that is currently coming to the United States and will bring a lot of impacts. As not only are we expecting the storm to bring the potential for more significant severe weather across a pretty large chunk of the United States, but even as we get into the weekend, we're still going to have some leftover storms that will continue to make their way towards areas like the East Coast, possibly leading to some severe weather there. And then after that, we'll kind of be in this omega block pattern, which means one area is going to stay dry, while the other two areas will likely be seeing showers and thunderstorms almost every day. It's going to be a very crazy pattern compared to what we've been dealing with, but it will be something to keep an eye on closely, as this could lead to a lot of impacts, especially as we get into next week. Let's first start off by talking about what's happening across the United States today, and you guys can see that we do have a pretty large enhanced risk for severe weather heading from areas of Texas all the way up there into areas of eastern Kentucky. Main concern for today is going to be the potential for not only some large hail, especially down here in Texas, but mainly for wind. We're talking wind being the main concern, especially across these areas farther to the north. We got a 30% risk of seeing winds between 50 to 60 miles per hour, with some of those wind gusts maybe even getting as high as 70 miles per hour, depending on what this looks like. We even got a threat for a few tornadoes, which means a few embedded tornadoes will be a possibility, but it's obviously something that we can't say exactly if it's going to happen or not. It will just depend on how these storms play out. And then once again, for the hail threat, main concern for large hail today will mainly be down there in Texas. Let's also look at tomorrow, and you guys can see that once we enter the weekend, a lot of that is going to shift over towards the East Coast, and main concern for tomorrow is going to be large hail, damaging winds. Mainly for large hail and damaging winds once again. Thankfully no tornado threat, but we will keep an eye on it closely just in case one does get issued, because we're still going to have some leftover energy from today. So once again, we will keep an eye on it closely, but it's obviously something that we can't really tell exactly if it's going to happen or not tomorrow. We'll have to see how it plays out, but we will keep an eye on tomorrow closely, as a lot of that once again will be shifting off to the east, and it looks like damaging winds and large hail will be the primary concerns. And then after tomorrow and into day 3, we have a little small threat for severe weather across the Carolinas, and then we'll have a new storm system coming on in by the time we get into Monday, May 5th. Let's talk about what we could be seeing over the next couple of hours today. And you guys can see that for right now, we're mainly dealing with showers and thunderstorms over here across areas of Texas, Oklahoma, back over there in Arkansas. And these thunderstorms are going to try to strengthen as they continue to make their way eastward. You guys can see that a line of showers and even some thunderstorms will continue to make its way eastward towards areas like Tennessee and Kentucky. And if we take this more forward, look at this, guys. Areas like Tennessee, Kentucky, and northern Alabama could really be talking about the potential for some pretty big winds. We're talking potentially some winds getting up there towards 50, 60 miles per hour, maybe even some isolated wind gusts up to 60, 70 miles per hour, certainly possible. If we take this forward, you guys can see that all this will continue to move eastward, still bringing chances for damaging winds across Kentucky and Tennessee before a lot of this looks to die down or at least weaken by the time we get into the later part today. So we will once again keep an eye on today very closely, especially Tennessee and Kentucky, where damaging winds, some large hail, and even a few tornadoes are all looking possible. So make sure you guys are all being weather aware if you guys live in Tennessee or even Kentucky. If we also take a look at what we could be talking about, especially as we get into next week, once again, we're going to kind of be in this omega bot pattern, especially once we enter next week, because for how this is looking, it looks like we're going to have a high pressure system sitting across areas of the Ohio Valley, which will keep those areas dry, and then areas east of it will have storms ongoing in this corridor right here, and then on the west side of it, we're going to have storms ongoing over here too as well, especially across the plain. So it's kind of like this area right in between those two will stay dry, while areas beside it will likely be seeing some rain and of course some thunderstorms. So very interesting pattern to say the least. And so it looks like as we get into next week, a lot of those areas will be on the drier side of things, and then like I said, areas right beside it will likely be seeing rain and even some thunderstorms, especially across the east coast and as well as the plains. So once again, we will keep an eye on it very closely, as it is looking like a pretty big concern overall. And of course, we could also once again be talking about the potential for some pretty big changes once we get into next week. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, as we are going to continue to keep you guys up to date with the latest, and consider doing that, as it really does help the channel out a lot. And once again, I'm hoping that we can get to 2,000 subscribers, and you can help me out by subscribing to the channel. We haven't reached 2,000 subscribers yet, which I was hoping to reach that right before the first day of summer back in January, but unfortunately we didn't get there just yet. So now would be the time to subscribe to help me get there, and that would be much appreciated, you all. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend out there, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.